Okay, now we're recording. So this is the Farm Hop Life Men's Forum. This is way different. This is weird. Chris is on the phone. Christopher of Secure Coop, Secure
Hello.
Farm, and you might have to talk louder.
Hello.
Hello. And tonight we're talking about life ain't perfect, and Christopher's like, well, that's fitting because my internet doesn't work. That's why he's on the phone and not whatever. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Christopher, other than your internet not working, let's share a personal event.
Yeah, so that was the big event. Lightning struck last week, and we lost both power and internet. And the power was thankfully only about 6 hours, and then the truck. But the lightning struck the pole right in front of our house, so it was like kaboom. You know, you knew it. I knew right away where it was going on.
Holy cow!
And and so we got to hit that pole. They came out and the internet it fried some the cable devices also in the pole, both the power and the cable. So I've had two technicians already, and now I've got a third one scheduled for tomorrow because they had to first come out and make sure it's not your modem, and then they couldn't tell that because no internet, so no signal from the pole. So I said, it's definitely in the pole. They came out later on and fixed the pole, and now they got to come back because it's still not working. I think it hit both pole and my modem. So it just really fried things. And I worked part of the week remotely, so I was like right in the middle of doing that. And then, so this is where preparedness really came in.
Yeah.
I have a phone with a data plan and a hotspot and a cell booster, and it was just enough to, it wasn't perfect, but it was enough to get me online, get me back to working, and that was nice. And then the interruption came right in the middle of work, so I couldn't do power after work was over. We got power restored by I ran a 400 feet of extension cord, which is really not recommended.
400 feet?
Yeah, that's the closest power outlet. And when you're running that, when you're daisy chaining those extension cords, the concern is when you have the connection, are they going to be? Is there going to be like corrosion or crud in them that cause poor contact, poor resistance, and cause a fire?
Yes.
I walked along the length of that thing, and I found two slightly warm spots. Cleaned them out the best I could, but nothing was terribly hot. But that's the concern about doing that. And the other concern is just running too much current. So I also have this is where preparedness again comes in. I have a current meter. It's called a kilowatt, and you just plug it into your outlet, and you plug whatever into the kilowatt. And so I plugged in our RV and told them, okay, I told Therese, turn off the air conditioner, but just running the fan, make sure the fridge is going. And so we had lights, internet, no internet, but we had lights, fridge, air conditioner, not air conditioner, fans. And so just the basics. And I watched the kilowatt, made sure that it didn't go over, 10 amps. And so we never were at risk of starting a fire there, which was nice. And we had, power not too long after things went down. So that was just beautiful the way that worked out. If we didn't have the neighbor with that was 400 feet away, we've got 4 inverters, 2 generators, and I'm working on some solar. So those will be insane. So it was just really nice it was a lot of inconvenience. The kids were frustrated, and I can't get on the internet. And it was also, just first world problems, nothing serious.
Right.
So we'll make do. We'll figure it out. But yeah, life ain't perfect.
It ain't perfect. So I pulled up one of my electrician apps, and I did a voltage drop calculator. So, any idea what gauge wire your extension cord is?
They would have been 14s and 16s. I couldn't say exactly, but they wouldn't have been any better than that.
I guessed 14.
The kilowatt said 110 volts, I think, on the end, which would be under the 120. So I lost like 10 volts, but everything powered up.
You were still getting, over 400 feet, you were still getting 110 volts?
You got it.
I don't believe you, dude. My little calculator says that copper conductors, because extension cords use copper, 14 gauge wire, 20 amp.
No, it was like 5 amps.
No, not the draw, the supply. The supply is probably like 20 amps to like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the supply was 15.
400 feet and the voltage at source 120 volts. It should have been like a 50 volt drop, so you should be getting like 69.7 volts. My camera can't focus. I'm trying to show the calculator, but
perhaps we didn't have that. Perhaps the outlet is high, higher voltage than typical. I show
maybe it fried the regulator.
Drop. Yeah, when I did the same calculator, I show a 9% drop, which is which sounds about right. If it was 120 minus 9%, it's 109. Yeah, I got 110. So.
I'm showing a 41% volt drop. So whatever. I'm glad you weren't getting 70 volts. That would have done you no good.
That would have done us no good. Yeah, I came up. Everything came up, and so I was happy with that. When I went online, when I got everything back, I got better extension cords. Just to have a spare set, and and so if we ever have to do it again, I'll use those.
Sure. Good. Yeah. For me, I was supposed to have a excavator with and an operator show up on Saturday, but he texted me late Friday night saying he and his family got COVID, and I was like, "Oh, you're killing me." I've been wanting. I gave up on my first guy and ended up hiring somebody else, and then he went and got COVID, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Now I'm thinking about just doing it myself, like and rent an excavator for like a mini X for a weekend for like I don't know, a couple $100, $600-$700 probably. I was planning on spending upwards of like $2,500 to hire this guy, just like have it done right, and not even like the hard parts of like making it like doing landscape timbers or all this rock crap that I'm doing. Like I was still going to end up doing that after the $2,500. And so I'm thinking, no, I'm just going to do it myself. And I got a bunch of fence posts stained, or fence rails stained. So those were going to start getting put up. And I just found out this evening that the first set that I from the first rail to the first post to the second post is longer than my rails. Like, you dicks. You had one job. Don't go over 12 feet. And what did you do? You went over 12 feet. So I'm going to have to figure out a solution there. And then yesterday I had my launch / announcement of my collaboration with some people I have interviewed.
Yeah.
to do the t-shirts.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Like, I hope it works. So I've already put in a decent chunk of money into this, so hopefully it pays off.
Nice.
But yeah, so first one gets revealed next week.
All right. So I didn't see the detail. I saw the video, but I must have missed like some detail. I couldn't watch the video. That's right, because I'm streaming.
Oh,
what are the details of that?
So if you saw the video or didn't see the video, but you could like read the text, basically all the text is in the video. Like, that was my script. So you'll be able to. I'm gonna announce the shirt like on Sunday, and like the clip that's related to it, like how it came about on Sunday, and then the design gets released Monday morning, and then I'll do videos throughout the week, just kind of like, hey, blah blah blah, little thingy, blah blah blah, check out this shirt, and then you can only order it until Friday at midnight, and then I'm closing it forever and ever. Okay. And then next Sunday starts all over again.
Oh man!
So I'm doing 5 consecutive weeks like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be watching because I'll pick up that shirt.
Hey man, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
You got 5 to choose from. Hope you like whatever one you buy. If you're sticking with one.
I figured out interviewing an Australian homestead. I've got a very good friend in Brisbane I talk with regularly, and she's marrying a guy here in the United States, and she's moving to the United States. Hopefully, she hopes. So.
Okay. She'll probably like the Australian one then.
All right. Yeah, because the homesteading is her desire. She loves to garden, and so she's like hoping to move to Missouri and do homesteading and leave the totalitarian state behind. She's looking forward to that.
That's funny because the lady I'm working with, TJ, she's also near Brisbane.
Okay.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So life ain't perfect, and I had a lot of things in mind when I made this topic and did not get around to doing any of the show notes. So you're entirely on your own for whatever that means to you. Off the top, before I explain what I had in mind, why don't you tell me what that means to you?
Life ain't perfect. You're going to have, like, what is Mike Tyson said, like, everybody has a plan so you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your life is full of variations, and there's infinite variables that come at you at any given moment, and some of them are to test you, and some of them are to just because of people being stupid, and some of them are just life, and some of them are fortuitous, and some of them are good, and so you just roll with the punches, and the way I cope with that is preparedness.
That's good. That's a good cope.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot worse.
I was kind of thinking about like how we all have kind of like our ideal. We all have our ideals, right?
Yeah.
I want this thing a certain way, but we often, oh man, what is the word? It starts with a C. Compromise. We often compromise on those ideals, and we never quite. Very, very rarely do we reach our ideals, and that's just how it goes. Like, I'll give you a couple like examples, things I thought of. Like, I know I'm supposed to eat better, and I want to eat better, but I don't because I'm lazy. So I just do good. I just do good enough. Like, I'll just not eat, the the pie from the farmer's market my wife brought home. The next day, I'll just have a small piece of pie, and then the next day,
right,
I'll just have another small piece of pie. Like, I'm not eating a lot of it. Like, and then
it's calling you.
It kind of, well, I was like, man, when was the last time I had a strawberry rhubarb pie? And so the answer was probably never, or like when I was a kid and it had too much rhubarb in it and it was gross. So, and like, I mean, you could take it all the way to like, the condiments that you use or this other stuff that you eat. Like, there's a whole like seed oil hate out there, which I can totally get and understand, or like high fructose corn syrup and stuff, and all these things. Like, yes, I know I'm not supposed to eat that stuff, but lately I've just kind of been like lazy. I've just been like, look, I'm just getting by with on certain things right now, and this is just how it's gonna go for a second. I can pick up the pieces later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What do you think about all that?
No, because life is because it's just simply not possible to do absolutely everything you must do, you should do. And, I say that. I think it's in theory possible. I should say it's not entirely possible. But we'll just back up a step. It is very difficult to do everything you should do. A lot of times things just give. I'm going to work on my health, and oh crap, I slipping on my health, and I'm going to work on my side gig, and oh crap, now my family is taking a hit. So
yeah,
there's so many compromises.
Right. I'll tell you a big compromise that I made. You could even call it like a type 1 error. I've always wanted. I'm really into alternative building methods. I think conventional conventional construction's awful, and serves no long-term like purpose or use. I really like rammed earth. It looks awesome. If you don't know what it is, it just sometimes people call it like engineered sandstone, and that's kind of what it looks like. It's because it's got the layers to it. It looks pretty rad. We do not live in a rammed earth house because of time. If I had all the time in the world, we would absolutely live in a rammed earth house on this property and not another piece of property. But we still like this house. We designed it and stuff, but that was just one of those like, okay, so you got your ideals and you just can't reach perfection.
Yeah. You can compromise, but you can also compromise without making too much of a using compromise in the negative term sense of the word, such as when a dam is compromised. When a dam is compromised and it all spills over. But the balance is just seeking to, if you're going to let something go, you don't let it go entirely, totally go.
Right.
You gotta hold on to it and maintain some level of it. Yeah. And that's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, challenge.
What are some other compromises that you've made or had to make, or?
Yeah, well, when I was in the grips of fatigue, and I'm still kind of in and out of that sometimes. Like today was a pretty rough day. The compromises there are, I'm just going to spend a little more money to do something that I probably could have done myself.
Sure.
And although this evening, just before I came on the podcast, I was working on my wife's cell phone, replacing her battery, and I thought to myself, I could be paying somebody to do working on a cell phone is just hateful.
Yeah, it is.
There's so many things. I tore the fingerprint sensor cable and
oh no
screw. Yeah, so the back was already shattered, so it crumbled in my hands. It was just a mess. But she now has a new battery, so I'm glad about that. Yeah. But in the history of this fatigue, I really oftentimes there's things I probably could have done myself and just said, no, I'm just going to hire somebody. Heck with it. I'm just exhausted. And that, we could be further down the road financially than we are because of that. And it was just, you look back and you go, okay, how can I do that differently next time? How can I do that better? Or was that the right decision? And I don't second guess myself all that much. I kind of know when I've done something wrong and just move on from it. But yeah, that's been my life for the past 15 years. It's just raw. I can't do everything.
No, you kind of reminded me, not doing everything yourself. I am not handy on vehicles. That's kind of like almost like a blind spot to me. Not like it's just,
yeah.
I don't have a terrible amount of interest to improve on that. And it's just easier for me to hand it off to somebody and say, here, change the oil and look it over, see if it needs some work or whatever, and just hand it over to somebody you trust. That's one of those things that it just wouldn't bring me joy, doing that. I've changed oil before. I even I worked at what do they call it, as a lube tech in my teens, and so I know how to do it. I just don't care to.
Yeah.
And it's a good excuse to have somebody else look it over. My truck has 160,000 miles on it. I mean, stuff breaks at that mileage. And so I want to bring it in routinely and have it looked over.
Right. Now the flip side of that is it's wonderful when we have the income and we can do it. We don't have to do it ourselves. But it looks like we're coming into at least a recession, possibly another depression. We're going to be having to be doing it ourselves. And I will have wished I had done more with cars. I've got just enough wrenching experience that I'm not intimidated getting under the hood. And there's not enough experience to know to not do like I did with this cell phone and break some cable or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it ideal to you to be living in two different travel trailers?
That is actually it increases the amount of maintenance we got to do. The flip side of that is then we have redundancy. So where the water in the large RV was just coming out of a trickle. And the family was able to come over to the second RV and use the shower. And then I found out I got by the way, add this to your RV checklist, a blowout plug.
Blowout plug?
A blowout plug. It's a little screw in. It screws into your water inlet, and you hook a air compressor into it. You can run compressed air through your line. Yeah. And it had some algae or blockage or something in there, and I ran the compressor. We had to do it twice, and now wife is just rejoicing. We have water again. Yeah.
Helps clear your RV water lines during winterization and dewinterizations.
Yep. You can you can remove all the water from your inland lines, so they're not going to cause they're not going to swell and break if you're storing it outside. But in our and I got it for that reason, as we do have just enough freeze here to be concerned. But the other thing was I used it to clear that blockage, and man, it's going good now. So
nice.
Yep.
I forgot what.
So what were we getting with that? You were asking about how is that working with compromises and having to do things?
Yeah.
Oh, is it because of doing our own labor? Yeah. So I've got that awning, and I came home last week. I had put that new awning. I was just celebrating. Yeah, I got an awning now. I can walk out the front door and not get doused. And then I came home, and it was a big puddle on the awning. Oh, that is not good. It's gonna collapse.
No, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it was holding like 100 gallons or something. It was like a lot of water.
That's like 800 pounds.
Okay, it probably wasn't that much. Anyway, there's a lot of water. There's a big puddle, and I was like, oh crap. So yeah, we've got ourselves some maintenance going on. I've got to put some new skylights on. I'm going to replace all the roof plastic, and that way anything that could snap, break, and crumble on the roof is going to be replaced. We got a new roof coating, and but I tell you what though, I would much rather have RV maintenance than house maintenance. But just I've done trailer. We lived in a mobile home. That's close enough to a house that it made me say, you know what? I think I would much rather live in an RV. So you have so much less to deal with, and we're very comfortable, very very comfortable. We all love it, and so that's the way to go for us.
That's interesting. I also hate home maintenance. Like,
yeah,
I guess that's another like life ain't perfect thing, right? Like, oh, cool, we own a house.
Yeah.
But then you have all this crap that comes with it, and people are like, oh, I'm sure people are like, oh, wah, like you look at you in a house, Mr. King your Hill or whatever, and like it's cool, but there's a lot of crap that comes with it, and we've been making cars for a long time, but they still break. I feel like we should be able to have a car that doesn't break. We should also be able to build homes that don't need maintenance. That's what I think. Like homes have been around for tens of thousands of years, maybe 100,000 years or something. And I feel like we could do with a maintenance-free home. Literally maintenance-free.
Yeah.
Does one exist?
I don't know that we would ever do that. But now you're talking about money. So you can do more durable materials, and so that old saying about that they called the iron triangle. Like you can have speed, quality, and cheap, but you can only choose at most two. So yeah, it's a trade-off there as well. Everything's a trade-off. You got to just sort of think about what you're comfortable with. Where's my energy level? Where's my income? And work with that accordingly.
There's on Bob Villa, 6 ways to make your home almost maintenance-free. Metal roofing, vinyl or plastic siding. That's not that. A couple times with a weed whipper, and you're gonna ruin that.
Yeah.
Leaf guard gutters. Basically like engineered decking, like Trex or whatever, plastic fencing, PVC fence, and some sort of windows, cladded windows. I don't know what that means. Aluminum, maybe.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. There's still a lot in there about that needs maintenance, like when your refrigerator breaks or washing machine stops working.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's still plenty to do.
Yeah.
I wonder though, I'm looking at the same article. I wonder if it's a matter of you have percentage-wise now, like 25% less work because you have vinyl sides, whatever. And yes, I've done the same thing with the weed whacker, cut into the side. It is not, but it also doesn't need to be painted, and as long as you can avoid, have some skirting down the bottom, it probably hang on pretty good.
That's true.
So, yeah. But that's what I like to hear. Jack Spirko likes to say, "Buy once, cry once." He recommended those heavy duty water hoses. We picked up some of those, and I've been very satisfied with those. Yeah, sort of like twice as much as anything else, but man, they really are going to last. And so you can see, I can see putting in extra money like that. I guess the ultimate there would be if you buy the premium materials, but you do the labor yourself. That's a good balance right there. If you can do the labor yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's an article here, and after this, we'll get off of the home stuff. Greenbuildingelements.com. It says, "Behold the 100% maintenance-free house," and it looks interesting. Huh. Is this just a rendering, or is this real? I'm not convinced that this is real.
Let's see. I found it.
Whatever. So what oh man, I totally lost my train of thought. So we could talk like medicinal stuff here for a second. Like,
yeah,
somebody dealing with something and they just like pop a pill for it. It could be something even as simple as like Tylenol or whatever. Like, because I have a headache. Like, is that really what I want to be doing? Not really.
Right.
Do I want to go get like a tincture or I don't know, eat like elderberries or something like that to make my headache go away? Yeah, that would probably be preferred, but I don't have elderberries on hand because I'm not there yet. It's a thing to improve upon when I get there. And I'll give you another example. I have a garden and it's kind of crappy right now. I've been neglecting it like crazy for the last couple months. And if my mother-in-law wasn't out there watering it, I'm absolutely sure it would be dead. Like I had an issue with my sprinklers, and like I don't have like in-ground sprinklers or whatever. I just like run hoses and have a couple of things. And one of the sprinklers wasn't working, and I thought about getting another one, and then it just like got away from me a little bit, and I just never replaced it. And so I never turned the sprinklers on, and my lawn is 100% dead. Like, it is so dry out there. But hey, whatever. Life ain't perfect. And
right, life ain't perfect.
My lawn was already not perfect, so now it's just dead, and I get to start over.
Yeah, just you rip it up and put in rock.
Just rip it up and put in rock?
Yeah, I've seen. I'm joking, but people have done that. They're like, I'm done.
That's true.
Grass, I'm gonna put in rock. Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah. I mean, even if you did put in rock, as soon as you did that, you're like, cool. I don't have any maintenance, but then I don't have nice soft. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be grass. I don't have grass. I have clover and fescue, which I guess is a grass, but it's like a low water thing. Like, you just want soft textiles like under your feet.
Yeah, I'm so glad our RVs don't face the road. We can just do whatever. Like weed, I'll get to them.
Yep, I'll get to it. That's I got that a lot. I'll get to it.
Yeah. No one's gonna complain.
It's kind of funny though when it's inconveniencing other people, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll add it to the list. And then the second it inconveniences me, like I go fix it right away. Like, so I've talked about the chair that I sit in. They're old, and we have 4 around the dining table upstairs, and one of like it's a flat-headed screw, like pan head screw, because they're that old, and someone must have like tightened down the, like they kind of like stripped the head of the screw a little bit, and so like there's like a little like nub of metal that could catch your pants or like a long shirt or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And like my wife had complained about it, and my mother-in-law complained about it, but finally I got around to sitting in that chair, and it snagged like a pair of like workout shorts or whatever that I have, and I was like, oh, what the
shit is on. I'm fixing this right now.
Actually, I did. So I walked right out the door, grabbed a file, and like just took down that little, like basically like a burr, took that burr down. And then I looked at my mother-in-law and I said, there, drag your ass across that. She thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly. No, I had the same thing, and I almost did that with my wife's phone, but I was put it off again, and I was like, you know what? It's overheating. Her battery's getting warm, and I've heard way too many horror stories of lithium batteries just popping. When they get old like that, they get warm. The internal resistance rises, and charging it was causing not her to burn, but not really warm and concerning. I said I better get on that immediately, because I don't want to be responsible for a fire breaking out. So
right,
that's where I'm with you. Like if it inconveniences me, that tends to rise to the top. But when I know it's going to be very dangerous for somebody, that also rises to the top. I mean, I'm sure you're the same way. You're not going to be so self-centered that you're going to only do your stuff that bothers you. And that's just how we are. Men, that's what men do. We look out for others. We make sure that they're safe too. So,
yes.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think. I might have went through all the ideas that I had off the top of my head.
Yep. And that's fine. And how we cope with it is circle back to the beginning. We cope with that, with this variability, and this life ain't perfect, is by having this multiple ways of doing the same thing, and 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And I knew when I have my internet here that I said, okay, I've got to have a plan B when the internet, not if, but when the internet goes down.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm working remotely. Yeah, especially as I'm working remotely. I mean, I could get up and drive to the McDonald's, but it takes a half an hour, and it's just no trouble at all to turn on the hotspot and connect into that, do that. With power, I have I just got a forest system, and I'm starting on that one. The price is very good. Got a guy down the road who was also off-grid, and he's moving, and he's selling some of his stuff. So I picked up some old batteries, and that will cover the refrigerator and freezer if we should have a power outage. So they'll run on that, and that'll be nice. So yeah, just having multiple ways to do the same thing is just really your best way. And just accept that life is going to throw you curveballs, and just be flexible. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Did you ever see? I might not have shared my video on MeWe, but I had a podcast lined up, in my internet, I had no power to my area, and so I ran an inverter off my truck to my modem.
Yeah.
And just so I could have internet and do the interview. So that was kind of funny.
When was that?
Probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah. Yep. Like that first interview you did with me, I was powering off the inverter in my car.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yep. So, we got multiple ways of doing it, multiple ways of handling it, and that way it becomes, and also it's the knowledge, because like I suppose if I was just stuck in a third world country, how am I going to afford an inverter and things like that? So just knowing now with the internet, there's very little reason not to know alternate ways. Like, okay, my refrigerator's out, but I can 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 food, or I don't have a refrigerator, so I can can food. And how do you do that? Oh, let's get on Google and learn how to do that. So it's great to. I don't speak English. Oh, I'm going to learn English through the internet. There was a kid who actually did that. He went to the library, not the internet, but he went to the library, and his town was having a serious famine in Africa, and there was a famine in the town was just really suffering. The kid goes to the library and starts looking at books about windmills, and he doesn't know English, so he just starts to learn English. He learned English, and then he learned the book, and he built a windmill from parts from like the scrapyard. There's a documentary, I think it's on Netflix, about this kid, the kid who, what's it called? Something about harness the wind.
Yeah, the boy who harnessed the wind. Yeah.
No, the boy who harnessed the wind. And so it just reminds me that even without stuff, when you have principles and when you have thoughts and ideas and ways and knowledge and skills, you can work around and create your own contingency.
Yeah, you were talking about canning, and it reminded me of how we tried to do. What did we try to make? Pickled cabbage, sauerkraut. We tried to make sauerkraut, and it stunk really bad. Like, I know sauerkraut doesn't like smell the best, but this stuff was like really bad, and so we like, and then we never tried it again. Like we just haven't got around to like, how did we do it wrong? Like can someone teach us how to do this? Because we kind of need some hands-on help in learning.
Well, there we're going back to compromise again. You've got so many things going on that for now, it would be just really simple. Just grab some cans of sauerkraut while they're still on. And the flip side of that is then you also want to practice it at least once, get it right so it doesn't stink. So that, when, not if, the cans are not on the shelf, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Man, what do we... I feel like I'm tapped out tonight for some reason. I almost feel like I'm tapping out early. What do you want to cover that we didn't cover?
Just personal testimony. That another way that I personally cope with and handle with frustrations and things not going my way is I've got a good Father in heaven that looks over me. I can't go by without talking about that.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I have a strong belief in providence and how that works through our lives, helps us. That's the pillow I sleep on at night. And providence doesn't mean that I never do things. It simply means that I don't worry. So
okay,
don't worry. Yeah, but I still get up and do things. Still got to put the phone back together again. Still got to put the awning back on the RV.
Right.
Still got to build the solar system.
Still got to build the solar system. Or do you must have access to cheap solar panels where you're at, right?
No, yes and no. There was a paint company around the corner in Savannah, which is about 2 or 3 hours up the way. I picked up our main panels from them. But this guy was off grid, and he's just got a bunch of an eclectic mix of stuff. He sold me some old tiny Harbor Freight panels, as well as some golf cart batteries that are pretty worn down. Then I looked up online, how do you not rejuvenate, but what's the word? You can redo you can desulfate the plates and redo the acid inside using Epsom salt, and you just need the Epsom salt, a charger, and some distilled water. So I got these old batteries and I got these old panels, and I'm looking forward to how that's going to work. I'll probably get 200, 300 amp hours out of the whole set, which will be nice to cover the freezer and fridge for a full day or so while we figure out how we're going to power it, and just to give the buffer for short outages. So
right,
that would be nice. Yep, and it'll be a fun project. I mean, to refurbish I for whatever reason, I've always enjoyed refurbishing things.
Yeah,
whether it's a really old computer or now I'll be able to do that with batteries. So taking old junk trash batteries, you can do that with just about any lead battery, and you just look up Epsom salt battery, and it's a matter of like you flush it out with baking soda, you charge it, you fill it with Epsom salt and water mixture, and charge it up, and you just watch your voltages, and it's good to go for another 50,000 miles or whatever. So.
Is your battery low? I just heard it yell at me.
Yeah, that was my walkie-talkie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was funny. I was talking about battery and shouting about a battery.
That's true. That's I did not know that about being able to restore batteries like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that then lithium has been winning the war for solar power because for many reasons, but typically lead acid wins on price, and then you have the ability to rejuvenate your old batteries, so that even extends the price, makes the price even better.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I'll have to. That's kind of a neat little hack.
3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, you can do that sometimes 3, 4, 5 times on an old battery. So. Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to trying it, and I've never done it before, so we'll figure it out.
We will figure it out. I'm also looking at doing solar for my setup as well. Whenever I get to that, I've got my eye on a RV that is at a truck and RV lot here in Missoula. Just haven't got up there to go check it out yet.
Yep. So, I thought you already. No, you haven't bought yours yet. Okay, so you're still in the research phase.
Still in the research phase. We are. I feel like we're getting close. I'm not sure what we're gonna do for a down payment yet, but we kind of have an idea of what we want to pay, spend. Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. Price per month for our monthly payments and whatever, and yeah, we got to look for the right one. So
yep. Yeah, I probably spent too much on. I'm no good at negotiating for anything, and I just you want to charge me $33,000? Sure, I'll buy it. So. I'm just no good at negotiating, and so I think I paid more for our RV than I should have. But on the flip side, it's definitely a fit for our family. Everybody's got their own sleeping area, 2 bunks, and the middle child has his own sleeping area, and they all have privacy. It's got a full-size shower. It's a motorhome with low miles. Needed a little bit of work, but nothing terrible. And two large slide-outs. And queen size in the back with 2 air conditioners. And what else we got here? I don't know. It was in pretty good shape. The guy had maintained it pretty well. Oh, generator in there.
Nice.
So yeah. So I think I got paid a little more than I should have, but nonetheless, it'll last us a good 10, 12, 15, 20 years if I'm careful with it. And I think it'll save money in the long run. It hurts up front to put that money in. But the nice thing about having all that is I could be like semi-retired in 6 years, where the only expenses are food and some electricity and insurance. Pretty much we have all of our expenses covered. We're starting to grow our own food. We've got some pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were beautiful pumpkins, Seminole pumpkins. And we've got some pumpkins there, and of course sweet potatoes. And so we'll be growing our own food, and we got the solar will be generating at least part of our own electricity, and the land is renting from mother-in-law or so there's that. So we don't have that expense, and it's going to hurt for a good 6 years, but then we'll be able to semi-retire, which is so exciting. So.
Dang. And how soon did you say? Did you say like 6 years?
6 years, yeah, to pay off the RV and all that. So.
Dude, nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yep. And I mean, I'll be able to at least relax. I shouldn't say retire, but just not be as work as intensive.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. I was gonna comment on the you're not good at haggling or negotiating. That's a whole life ain't perfect thing. Like, ideally, you'd be able to get a better price on stuff. But I mean, when I bought my truck, when was that? 7 years ago or something like that now. I was like, I really wanted to be under 20 grand. And it was at like 21 or something, like $20,900. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. And I'm like, hey, so how about 19.9? And he's like, nope. Damn it. He's like, I'll take $100 off. And I was like, okay. I really want this truck.
Oh man. Let me guess, you bought it last year?
No, this was years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like right in the midst of this car crunch, you're buying a car that's awful.
I would, if I could swing it, I would buy a new truck, but just can't. I'm not dealing with $400 a month car payments again.
Oh, absolutely.
Screw that.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, once you do that, you're like, I'm done. I don't do that.
Yep. Over that. I'll just drive this truck into the ground or something.
Just keep fixing it.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Haynes manual and turn the wrench on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see. Now you got me looking to see what kind of solar deals are on like my local Craigslist. Like, this guy's got an off-grid solar system package for $1,300, and I was like, dang, is that good? Is that a good deal? It says
run
only.
It by me. I'll run it by me. Send me the link, and I'll look at it and tell you whether it's a really good deal or not.
Only selling it because I'm broke, and then there's like a bunch of details. So
yeah,
people in desperation. That's not to take advantage, but that's always good. It's not perfect,
right?
But
it's not perfect.
It's not perfect. Well, wrapping up. What else? What do we want? Do you have any idea what we want to talk about next week?
We had floated some ideas in the past. I'm not sure yet. We could be brainstorming about it. But I should have internet back. I won't be a disembodied voice next week. So.
I'm not even sure if I'm going to publish the video version. It might just be an audio only.
Okay.
I mean, they're just looking at my dumb face for an hour, so that's
yeah.
But yeah, why don't you tell people about Secure Coop and Secure Farm?
Yes, sir. So Secure Coop and Secure Farm. A brief background. I work with a Fortune 50 company, very large financial company. I work in the IT department, and I approached the problem of keeping chickens from a perspective, the same perspective as I do with companies where we protect multi-billion-dollar transactions on our servers, and I thought, well, I can use those same techniques and principles to protect someone's food. And so I've been building Secure Coop with, monitoring it with tenancy and alerting and everything like that, so that your chickens are going to be just as secure as a multi-billion-dollar Wall Street transaction. So that's the hope. And so, I'm so confident in my ability to provide something that is reliable and give the person what they're looking for. That if they could even lose their flock, I have a commitment to adherence to even replace the whole flock up to 20 birds. So look at the website. You can go to securecoop.com and sign up for the free. Get on the mailing list. Sign up for the ebook and get a free book. And I'll tell you when we're going live, which looks like it could be this year.
Yes.
Get a coupon. Farm Up Life Sucks. And get a coupon for security.
You said rocks, not sucks, by the way.
I said rocks. Rock.
Farm Hop Life sucks. in the bookmark or in the coupon code. Farm Hop Life sucks.
Got it. Yep. If you are on the member support page with FB, you can buy that coupon as well. So.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Get enough coupons. I'll be owing you money.
Do the coupons what? You'll owe me money?
if you get enough, if you apply a coupon, I'll owe you money.
Yeah, maybe. Eventually, just stack all the deals and whatnot.
Got it.
Nice. And I am Matt DeRozier of A Farm Hop Life, a traveling homestead family. We've got our 20 by 23 project coming up. That's where we're going to help 20 homesteads in the year 2023. And next week is when I'm releasing the first of 5 shirts to try to build up some funds for that travel trailer. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because life's not perfect. Yeah. We're gonna learn to suffer in this little RV. So really appreciate your support.
Excellent.
Well, cool, Chris. I got a bunch of stuff to do, so let's
all right.
We'll chat and figure out something for next week.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, man.
All right. Yes, sir.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.